Will Daystar get far?
Why are we still hearing the same conspiracy theories?
TSR, one of the first to break the news.
Mr. Peterson never shot anybody. Never even touched that gun.
A bodyguard coming forward, claiming that he heard Kelsey Harris admit to shooting Meg Thee Stallion 3 times. But not so fast, says Meg's legal team, who are now sitting down only with the Shade Room.
It really is time.
And why they say Tory and his team are spreading lies now.
The narrative is constantly changing.
I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates. Daystar Peterson, who we all know as rapper Tory Lanez, he is fighting to get out of prison. Literally. It was back on May 12th when the Shade Room told you that he was stabbed 14 times by another inmate in his back, his head, his torso, his face. We're told that he's recovering after suffering a collapsed lung, but days after the attack, his legal team came forward with shocking claims that there's new evidence out there that will prove that he should not be in jail at all. So we brought all of this to Meg Thee Stallion's legal team, who for the first time, they're sitting down with the Shade Room and they are saying, time out.
In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody. Never even touched that gun. Never fired the gun.
This is how we got here. A press conference May 14th organized by Unite the People. They were hired by Tory Lanez to represent him as he appeals the felony assault and weapons charges that he was convicted for back in 2023. At the focus, Bradley James, a former bodyguard for Kelsey Harris, who we all know is Meg Thee Stallion's former friend. When the Shade Room posted about this, it had the roommates fired up.
Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Miss Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. The passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting.
So we reached out to the team who was there for it all.
It really is time.
Marie Hirapetian and Janet Shamillian, who worked alongside lead attorney Alex Spiro, representing Meg Thee Stallion during trial.
And despite court orders, restraining orders, Tory continues to orchestrate systematic harassment campaigns through surrogates and social media personalities. Every few months, we hear new fabricated narratives emerge that force Megan to repeatedly relive her trauma and defend her credibility, and she should not have to do so as a victim of violent abuse.
So they spelled it out for us in this 31-page report released on Thursday. Tory's team claiming that there's new ring camera footage of the incident.
We're hearing news of ring footage. Ring footage was already a trial exhibit. There was an audio of 5 consecutive gunshots that was presented and admitted, and the jury considered in rendering the verdict. There's no other ring footage, and if in theory there was something that would exonerate Mr. Peterson, it would be disseminated publicly and widely, and it's not.
The report was detailed, full of images and exhibits from trial, including that call that Tory made to Kelsey Harris on July 12, 2020, hours after the shooting.
I know she probably never ever gonna talk to me ever again, but bruh, I just want you to know, bruh, I was just so drunk, I didn't even know what the was going on, bro. I didn't even know what the was going on, bro, like that. I'd never do something like that, bro. Just that I was so drunk, I just didn't even understand what the was going on, bro. Like, so whatever, yeah. Bro. But, you know, regardless, that's not gonna make anything right, and that's not gonna make my actions right, bro.
Text messages from Lanez to Meg Thee Stallion shortly after the incident. Quote, I know you probably never gonna talk to me again, but I genuinely want you to know I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. And I was just too drunk. Nonetheless, expletives should never have happened and I can't change what I did. I just feel horrible, end quote.
We're here to help the public understand that there is no new evidence. There never was.
Including testimony and court documents we've all seen and heard before. Kelsey Harris telling a prosecutor and an investigator in an interview, quote, "I'm short, I'm 4'11". The vehicle is kind of a little raised up higher than me, so I can't really see. I can only see from chest up. That's all I can see. But the way Tory was angling the gun is kind of like, it wasn't like straight. It was like, down. She goes on to say that Tory pointed it in Meg's direction. Quote, "At that point, we kind of were in shock, end quote. But Tory's team firm that that is not true.
This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw two women fighting, two men break up the fight, one man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. The passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting."
But here's what Sean Kelly said in court, word for word. The prosecutor said, quote, "All right, so the short guy had his arms outstretched. He fired 4 or 5 shots. Afterwards, the girl fell into the road and started bleeding." Sean Kelly says, "Yeah. She was crawling along, crawling and stumbling across the road." The prosecutor then says, "All right, now you testified earlier this morning that when the short guy was shooting at the victim, you saw an object in his hand. Is that correct?" And Kelly says, "Yeah, it was obviously something in his hand with the noise and the flashes." The prosecutor then says, "And when that object was in his hands, were his arms outstretched?" Sean Kelly says, "Yes."
The public keeps saying, where are the x-rays? She stepped on glass. And respectfully, why would we be worried about a gun if she had stepped on glass? But to take it a step further, we released the Cedars-Sinai records in our presentation. This is not the first time those records have been available to the public. It clearly states in numerous places, just on that one page, that bullet fragments were removed from both of Miss Pete's feet. You have to ask yourself, why are we still hearing the same conspiracy theories run over and over again?
Miss Pete's sentiment is that she wants this chapter closed. The jury has reached a verdict. Mr. Peterson has been sentenced. He's serving 10 years for 3 felonies committed against Miss Pete. She wants to move on. She has a successful, thriving career, and this should not be continued to brought up because this matter is closed.
Adding a political dimension to this case, there's a Florida congresswoman. Her name is Anna Paulina Luna. She recently came forward publicly calling on the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, to pardon Lanez altogether, although this has nothing to do with her jurisdiction or the state of Florida. Now, Megan Thee Stallion, she was vocal on TikTok about this, writing in part, quote, "At what point are y'all gonna stop making me have to relive being shot by Tory? At what point are Tory and y'all fans gonna stop lying? Like, how much is the check to keep harassing me? Why is this happening every day? One minute y'all said I was never shot. Now y'all letting him play in y'all face again and say I was shot, but it wasn't him. Oh, okay. I'm sick of this expletive. Leave me the F alone. Tory, please leave me alone, you expletive demon." Now, the appeals process continues in this case with no set court proceedings thus far, but of course, as soon as we learn more, we'll pass it along to you. For TSR Investigates, I'm Justin Carter. Hello, roommates, and thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Do you want more TSR Investigates? Be sure to subscribe and check us out at theshaderoom.com.